The tropics are heating up, and we're going to talk about what it could and what it couldn't mean for New Jersey next week. It's meteorologist Joe Martucci here. 50% of hurricane season actually happens after September 10th when it comes to the number of storms and the intensity of the storms. So it's not unusual that we've been fairly quiet until now, but the tropics are heating up. We have what was Hurricane Gabrielle now out in the open Atlantic near the Azores, Tropical Storm Humberto, and then this one that we're watching for could become Imelda, which is our eye storm. Here's a look at Tropical Storm Humberto right now. It is to the northeast of the Lesser Antilles. Will become a hurricane Friday, a major hurricane over the weekend. That's a category 3, 4, or 5. And it's still 1,600 miles away from the Jersey Shore, so we got a lot of time with this. I don't expect any direct impacts from New Jersey with this, but this weekend, we're going to have a high risk for rip currents because of this storm. And also, what probably is going to become Imelda. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida says this is more than likely going to become a named storm. And this is a 7-day outlook. So by the time we get to the middle part of next week, this is not expected to move all that much, but could be somewhere off the South Carolina, Georgia coast by that point in time. Now, take a look at this map, and I'll let it loop twice for you here. Did you see those two L's kind of swirl around each other and then merge to become one bigger storm with more yellows and more oranges? Well, that's something that's uncommon. We call it the Fujiwhara effect, and that's named after a prominent meteorologist back in the early 1900s. So when you have two storms, two tropical systems spinning within 900 miles of each other, this is essentially the Fujiwhara effect. Think of like square dancing. So it's an intense dance of these storms around the common core. Now, in this case, what you're seeing in this forecast map, it's combining and becoming more powerful off the Norfolk, Virginia coast. But they don't always have to be this way. Sometimes the weaker one just kind of gets absorbed into the bigger one here, and not just a full-on collision. So will this happen? Probably not, but it's going to show you that we have this Fujiwhara effect in place, and this just inherently brings a low confidence forecast. So we have potential Imelda on the left. We have Humberto on the right. Humberto, most of these tracks, this is the global and hurricane model tracks from NOAA, taking it right out to sea around Bermuda, and most aren't getting to us. And Imelda kind of gets into South Carolina and Georgia and kind of just stalls out. So the majority of the consensus here is that they're not going to necessarily merge and combine, but they will try to swirl around each other. That being said, we're still talking 5, 6, 7 days out, with this. So things can change, of course. I know we say that in weather all the time, but it is true here. So what can we say about New Jersey? Well, no direct impact is expected. I'm not expecting that to happen in New Jersey. But what I can say is that we're going to see some coastal flooding, definitely going to see rip currents and gusty winds Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Of course, how much rain do we see? That's the big question. Now, there is a big area of high pressure that's coming in from Canada. It's a lot of dry air. It's from the Arctic here. It's possible that it stays so strong that we stay dry, but we still get this coastal flooding, rip currents, and gusty winds. If the high pressure isn't as strong over us, then we get that tropical rain to come in. Now, remember, this time of year, September, October, most of the time our rain comes from these kind of tropical systems. So it's not unusual to see something like this, but we'll keep you in mind and informed as we go forward over the next couple of days. And make sure to check out our latest episode titled Flooding Talk 2. We do this every Tuesday. This is with the New Jersey Coastal Coalition. We have Kylie Price from Inside Climate News talking about how wildfires are making flooding worse.